everyone, welcome to the Learn with Sandra Shell channel. My name is Alexandra, your educational guide. So I have a good news for everyone. It is something that you all will benefit from, and I wouldn't want to go into it right away, so stick with me till the very end. Now let's go straight into the business for today, and that is solving the JAMB past question for the subject English Language Year 2024, and we will be solving 20 questions. Okay, so let's begin. Question 1. Okay, so choose the option that best completes the sentence. My uncle is not sure dash the strange guest where. Okay, so let's start by eliminating the options that are not correct. Okay, so we'll start by eliminating option A and D, which and what. Why? Because they are used for selections or they are used for things rather than people. So we are left with option B and C, whom and who. Now here's the explanation. Okay, the best answer to this question first is option C, who, and this is because who is used to refer to the subject. The subject is the person performing the action, and whom is used to refer to the object. The object is the person something is being done to, the person receiving the action, okay? And in this case, we see that this sentence is a complex sentence. A complex sentence is made up of the main clause and the subordinate clause. Now, let's take a look at the main clause. My uncle is not sure. My uncle is the subject, is the verb, not sure is a complement. Now, the subordinate clause is dash the strange guest where. Okay, so the strange guest is the subject, where is the verb. So the strange guest is serving as the subject, and so because it's the subject, we use who, not whom. Okay, so this is the explanation for this. Although there's a shortcut to solving questions like this related to who and whom, and that is using the 4 rules. The first rule is to change it to a question. The second is try using E. If it fits properly, then the answer is who. Then the third rule is try using him. If it fits properly, then the answer is whom. Then the fourth rule is if he or him doesn't fit properly, try using they or them. If they is okay, then the answer is who. And if them is okay, then the answer is whom. Now let's try that quickly. Let's change it to a question. Dash where the strange guest, okay? He where the strange guest doesn't fit. Him where the strange guest doesn't fit. Now let's try they or them. They where the strange guest. It does fit, right? So the answer to this question is who. Them where the strange guest doesn't sound correct, right? So the best answer to this question is option C, who. So if our brother dash here, he would call the police. The answer to this question is option D, where, right? Why is it where? Now, this is an hypothetical scenario. An hypothetical scenario basically means an imaginary situation, a situation that is not real, okay? And when we have such situation, we use where, not was, okay? So if our brother were here, he would call the police. If I were you, I would study. Okay, so the best answer to this question is definitely option D, where. When they started fighting, the man who tried to dash was knocked down. Okay, so the best answer to this question is intervene. And what does it mean? It means to come in between in order to prevent something, especially during a fight, right? During a conflict. Okay, so this is the best answer to this question. Now, when you take a look at other options, right, you notice that they fit appropriately when you consider it as a structural word, right, as a verb. They will fit into the sentence, but they don't match the scenario when you consider the meaning of those words. For example, option A, intrude. Intrude means, when someone says you are intruding, it means you are doing something without their permission, right? When you say interpose, that means you are putting yourself in between. When they say obstruct, it means to block, blocking, to hinder, right? So when you take a look at the meaning of this word, they don't fit into the context, right? They don't match the scenario. And so the best answer to this question is option C, intervene. Right? Why do children dash adults conversations? Okay, so let's start with option A, break up. When we say break up, it means to separate, right? I broke up with him. She broke up with him, right? So option B, breakdown. Breakdown actually means different things. It can mean different things rather. It can mean to fall or collapse. It can also mean to, lose control emotionally, where you start to cry. She broke down in tears, right? Option C, break into, means to enter, right? Option D, break off, is to end completely. So the best answer to this question is option C, break into, because in this case we mean enter into a conversation, basically. So why do children break into adults' conversations? Okay, so best answer is option C, break into. Mr. Eze dashed with some solutions to the issue. So the best answer to this question is option B, came up, because came up means think of some ideas. Okay, thought of some ideas, right? Came up, right? So option A is the base form, and I mean the present tense form, right? Flew up is to rise up quickly, brought up is to mention. So the best answer is came up, okay? It came up with some ideas to the issue. Option B is the final answer to this question. Question 6. Okay, so tests revealed that the winning athletes are taking some performance enhancing dash. The best answer to this question is option A, drugs. Okay, because the context talks about substances taken to perform well, to perform effectively. And the standard phrase for this is performance enhancing drugs. Okay, when you take a look at other options, you see that it's talking about specific form of medication, capsule, tablets. Okay, so the best answer to this question is definitely option A, drugs. Question 7. So how many eggs were dashed by the hen? So before we go into the answer to this question, I would like to talk about two words, lay and lie. So these words are often confused because of their meanings, and their past tense form can be very, very tricky. Okay, so lay means to put something down. Okay, lie means to be in a resting position. Now, how do you differentiate? How do you know the meaning, right? Lie is you're doing it to yourself. I lie down. Lay is you're doing it to something else. I lay my phone on the table. Do you understand? Now, let's take a look at the past tense form, okay? So for lay, right, the past tense for lay is laid. For lie, the past tense for lie is lay. So you see where it is tricky, okay? You see it can be tricky. Now, the past participle for lay is also laid, but the past participle for lie is lain. Okay? Now, the present participle for lay is laying, while the present participle for lie is lying. Now, let's take a look at these words in sentences. Okay? Starting with lay. I lay my phone on the table. I laid my phone on the table. I have laid my phone on the table. I am laying my phone on the table. Now let's look at lie. I lie on the couch. I lay on the couch. I have lain on the couch. I am lying on the couch. Okay, so you can see the difference and you can see the dynamics. Okay, so take note of the present tense of lay, which means to put down, and the past tense of lie, which is also lay, right, to be in a resting position. Okay, so the best answer to this question is option C, laid. Okay, it's the past tense of lay. In the case of hens, okay, to produce egg. Okay, so how many eggs were laid by the hen? Okay, so option C is the best answer to this question. Question 8. Okay, so are those girls friends of dash? The best answer to this question is option B, yours. Now, option A and D does not exist in standard English. Okay, now option B is what we call possessive pronoun in advanced English, and then option C is what we call possessive adjective in advanced English. Okay, so why is it yours? Option B. Now, because the question talks about someone. Are those girls friends of someone? Okay, and possessive pronouns are meant to replace a noun. Okay, so the best answer to this question is definitely option B, yours. Okay, the jury gave dash verdict. Okay, the best answer to this question is option B, it, because it is the possessive form of it. Okay, so when we look at option A is the contraction of it is or it has. Okay, then option C and D is a gendered pronoun, right? And it is not suitable for a collective group. Okay, for a collective group, you use it. Okay, so the best answer to this question is option B, it. Okay, the jury gave its verdict. Okay, so the best answer is definitely option B. Question 10. So choose the option that has the same vowel sound as the one represented by the letters on the line. Now the word is mother and ER is underlined and it is pronounced as eh. Okay, so this is the laziest sound in English language. So what we have in option A is the longer version, verb, okay, verb. Option B, we have the longer version of it also. It is mercy, okay. Option C is the correct answer to this question because the letter A in about has the sound, about, okay. Option C, what we have in option C is jump, okay. So the best answer to this question is option C, about. Choose the option that has the same consonant sound as the one represented by the letter on the line. Now the word is yesterday and Y is pronounced as Y. Okay, and the answer to this question is union, option B, because letter U is also pronounced as G. Okay, so this is quite different from what we have in option A and C, jam, G, jam, and jump. Okay, so they are two different things. Okay, two different consonant sound. Okay, so what we have in option D, umbrella, is ah. Okay, so option B is the final answer to this question. Question 12. Choose the option that has the same consonant sound as the one represented by the letter on the line. So the word is king, okay, and K is on the line. It is k, okay, it's a voiceless consonant sound. Okay, so the answer to this question is option A, quite, okay, because Q is also articulated or pronounced as k, okay. So option B, we have ni, okay. Option C, we have sing. Option D, we have ninth. So the K and N in option B and C is N sound. Okay, so the best answer to this question is option A, quite. Choose the option that rhymes with the given word. Now the word is moth. Okay, so when solving rhyme questions rather, you start with the last sound. Okay, the last sound is, the second to the last is oh, and the final sound is in the word moth. Okay, so option A, the last sound is th. So yes, we are good to go. Option B, th, so we eliminate. Option C, we also have th, so we are good to go with C. Then option D, th, we eliminate. So we are left with option A and C. Now let's take a look at the second to the last sound in option A. So the second to the last sound is O. Okay, so we eliminate because it is O we are looking for, right? So option C is the final answer to this question because letter A is pronounced as O, rot. Okay, so option C is the final answer to this question. So choose the appropriate stress from the options. The stress syllable is written in capital letters. The word is dedication. Okay, so there's a stress rule that says that word that ends with ION should be stressed on the syllable before it, and the syllable before this word is K, right? So the best answer to this question is option D. Now this is a stress rule that is consistent in English language, that has no exception, right? So it is safe to use this rule. Okay, so the best answer to this question is no doubt option D, dedication. Question 15. Now this question is under emphatic stress. Okay, so we walked to the school. The emphasized word is walk. Now the idea behind emphatic stress question is basically to look for an option that has a different word. Okay, a different word to show contrast. So all you need to do is go to the options and look for an option that has a different word compared to the emphasized word. So the answer to this question is option B, because instead of walk or walked, whatever form it takes, whatever verb form it takes, it does not matter. It's still the same. So instead of walk, we have run in option B. Okay, so that's the answer to this question. Did we run to the school? Option B is the final answer to this question. Question 16. My mother is expected to be back by this time tomorrow. So this question is under emphatic stress. So all you need to do is concentrate on the emphasized word tomorrow and then look for an option that has something different, something to show contrast. Okay, so the best answer to this question is option B, because instead of tomorrow we have next month. Okay, so option B is the final answer to this question. She's traveling to Abuja. She'll return next week. So you are meant to choose the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. So the best answer to this question is option D. She's traveling and returning next week. Why? Because both actions are happening, both actions have been planned. Okay, so option A, she's traveling to Abuja to return next week. So this means that she's traveling in order to return, and that is not what it means. Option B, she's traveling to Abuja but returning next week. This is already showing contrast with the use of but. and that's not the intention of in the statement basically. Option C, she's traveling to Abuja to return next week, to returning next week. This is not grammatically correct, so we stick with option D as the final answer to this question. Question 18. So our school field is bigger than yours. So you are meant to select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, it means that our school field is bigger than your school field. Okay, now we would eliminate option A and B because it talks about the entire school and the statement is about the field. Okay, the school field. So we are left with option C and D, and the best answer to this question is option D because it says your school field is not as big as ours. It's the same thing as saying our school field is bigger than yours. Okay, option C says our school field is as big as yours. Is not the same thing because option C means it's the same thing, right? So the answer to this question is definitely option D. Manager told his workers to call it a day. Now, call it a day means to stop work for the day. Okay, so the best answer to this question is option C. They were told to stop working. Option D is the final answer to this question. Question 20. Okay, so the teacher believed a student were equal to the task. What does this mean? Equal to the task means they are capable. They are capable of handling the challenges, the situation, the task. Okay, so the best answer to this question is definitely option B. The students were hardworking and dedicated because option A, C, and D just doesn't explain the information conveyed in the statement. Okay, option A, the students were young and weak. No. Option C, the students were not equally prepared. No. Option D, the task was very difficult to carry out. No. So the best answer is option B. So guys, we've finally come to the end of this tutorial and I'm sure it was impactful. I'm sure you've learned a lot. And I think it's such a beautiful thing to have someone to learn with. I think it gives you a fresh perspective about the subject matter and you're able to study better because this person served as a guide. And that is the whole essence of this channel, right? Now, to take it a step further, introducing the good news, right? I have finally created a group, a Telegram group, to bring everyone together to address some of our major concerns and challenges and situations, okay? And this group is open to everyone. So I'll be attaching the link in the description. All you have to do is click on this link to join. Now, let's talk about the features of this group. Number one is Start Here. Start Here is basically where you have to introduce yourself. You tell us your name, your course of study, and your subject combination for JAMB. The second is the General group where I share general announcements and updates. The third is the Beyond the Classroom Hub, also called the Big C Hub for short. And here we do career counseling, mentorship, even entrepreneurship. And this stems from the fact that a lot of you are still confused about the course of study to exploring the university, the professional skills to develop, the business to start, right? And that's because we have so many resources. We are talented as individuals, and so we are confused about where to basically start. And I've been there, so basically I'll be guiding you through this situation. Okay. The next is the English group where we'll be talking about the subject matter English, and the fifth is government, and the last, which is the sixth, is literature in English. Okay, so you're welcome to join this group. Thank you for staying tuned. Do not forget to give me a like and subscribe to this channel. Till I see you in my next video. Bye.